Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in our Ultimate Base 3.0. In the previous episode we completely transformed this planetoid in order to accommodate experiment 52b, and today I would like to start extracting some of the resin here by sending over food that the tree can basically eat. I'm about to finish the automation here, however I think I need to be slightly careful in terms of radiation again, and also we'll be needing access to the mechatronics engineering skill, which I think I'm gonna unlock right away so that we can actually build those rails and everything. And I kind of need to lay low a little bit. Let me see, what's the radiation? 150. Okay, that's quite bearable actually. Come on Ellie, build, give me something good. Oh, actually I cannot reach these two cables. What if I remove this and this? I might just be able to reach those. All I want is not reach 300 rats, that would be great. So these cables are now in place. We can re-add the insulated tiles. Good, so now the only thing that's missing is this cable here, and of course 2 more rat bolt generators. But I think I'm gonna wait for a little bit so we can get rid of 100 rats while pooping. Also maybe by now we can get one of the vents going. I'm actually gonna go ahead and dig this guy up and start analyzing it right away. There go the last remaining tiles, and Ellie, we are still gonna need some field research, which goes above the morale cap, but I think she's gonna be fine. Now we can do the analysis over the course of the next 2 or 3 cycles with both of these vents, and then they can basically go for it. Though it's gonna become pretty toasty in here, at least 150 degrees, maybe even more. Here we go, Ellie is back with 172 rats, ready to go nuts on this hydrogen vent. Jeez, okay, she's not doing too badly, though the stress level is going up already, I have to say. Do I have my skill scrubber in place? Yes, indeed. So I'm guessing as soon as I build the conveyor rails, we can take off mechatronics engineering again. Hey, voila, first analysis is completed. I'm gonna take away the materials and then we're gonna analyze the natural gas geyser as well. So I can reset my skill points when this is done and regain some sanity. Analyze that one as well with a higher priority. By now we can reset this to level 1 and there we go. Natural gas geyser already going for it as we start to analyze it. Our rats are looking good with 122, so the next cycle I might just finish those cables. And another break time. You deserved it. You, well, deserved it. Okay, nice. I actually managed to finish the cabling job, which means we will be able to remove these tiles. Yeah, like so. And we are gonna have the same setup as we have with the other wrecked satellite. Just 2 of them and then shooting straight up. So this is gonna go directly into the interplanetary launcher. And if I'm not mistaken, I have my switch here that is taking care of everything. Yeah, as soon as the interplanetary launcher becomes full, it will shut down the rat bolt generators. Now, of course, both of the geysers shoot out really hot gases. However, I think they are gonna take a really long time to heat everything up here at the bottom. And then again, we don't necessarily mind the heat. We just want to make sure that we have some adequate cooling going on. Talking about cooling, could we by now activate the Aqua tuner? I wonder if that is possible. I mean, it will only have to run for like 1 cycle or so in order to get all of these packets down to the right temperature. As a matter of fact, I'm using 25 degrees, which means as soon as we go below the 25 degrees, we will not have to cool it down anymore. And that is actually already now the case. We are at 12 degrees. So I wonder, should I already enlarge the loop? Yeah, I don't really see a reason not to do it. So it's coming down here. We would be going over and back, and then we can cut this up. Which means I'm gonna need some more supercoolant, but we got everything ready for that too. I even think I have some more supercoolant inside. Yeah, there we go. It's now coming out, and then we just need a couple more packets. As a matter of fact, way more packets. So maybe we just send over, let me see, Vivani. I want to send over supercoolant to Ugula, 400 kilograms. That's going to be enough in order to fill up another 40 pipes. And then we should of course experience some significant cooling here in this region. Okay, I really like that already now. That also means I don't necessarily need to build everything out of steel here. For instance, we can have a pump, gas pump. So we're gonna build that out of copper. We're gonna have 1 pump at the top for the hydrogen and then 1 pump a little bit lower down for the natural gas. But I'm not yet so sure how I want to do this. So I would imagine we have 2 generators here at the bottom, natural gas, which means I'm gonna need another set of tiles possibly here. Oh, actually, that was not enough space, was it? Natural gas. No, I can actually fit it below these tiles, which is good. And then the other generator would be the hydrogen generator. And we might even be able to get 3 of them inside. But I generally think 2 are going to be enough. If we check the output here, average output is 100 grams per second. And checking the hydrogen generator, it will take, how much? 100 grams per second. So with this hydrogen vent, we could run one single hydrogen generator 24/7 or 2 generators half of the time. I think I'm also gonna reroute the power cable to go all along here, and we can move the ladder over as well. Give us a little bit better of an access point. And of course, before I forget it, we also need some piping here for our gas. We might even need a couple of sensors and some automation as well. Come on, babe, you can finish the analysis. Just a little more. Thank you. Okay, now we want to sweep this up. Come on. Ellie, where are you going? Going to deconstruct even though I gave this the highest priority. Are you serious? I don't get it. Why don't you pick up the data bank? Okay, now she did it. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, I wanted to close this off. That was actually my true goal here. And we're also gonna close this off. Soon enough, I need to place a block here as well. So all of the gases, the hot ones, can go and follow the right path there. Okay, it's a couple of cycles later. I already skill scrubbed Ellie once, and I decided to remove the research skills instead of the mechatronics engineering skills. Oh no, I totally missed the overpressuring of this vent, and now the liquid just continued, and so we have the polluted water in here as well, alas. So I guess at this point, this construction here doesn't really matter anymore. We can just take apart the pipes and then sweep up any liquids we want to. Thank you. Ellie just finished the conveyor rail that actually leads over here. Now, what is my intention here? I had this in place to ship over some materials, but that is technically not necessary anymore. Also, any materials we ship over, we might want to pick up otherwise. But honestly, all I really want to do at this point is make my way up here. Let me build a ladder maybe there. And then I want to deconstruct these 3 tiles and rebuild them. So we have a clean slate. And the pitcher pump will move over there. Okay, now I have access to the tree, and that actually doesn't even do anything to it. Wait, actually thinking about it, these should be mesh tiles. So we can have the food landing on top of the tiles, but the resin is just gonna seep through. Next up, I would like to surround this with insulated tiles and have a pump here at the bottom. Looks like the hydrogen vent is gonna become active in 10 cycles. Let's have a look at the temperatures. Yeah, that's actually looking really good, though on the top here I might have to be careful. Let's maybe get those generators situated. I could build them out of gold ore, I have a lot of that. So we would be having 2 generators like so, and even the space for a smart battery. The same thing with the hydrogen generators, they are the same size, so they would fit perfectly over there. Now we will run into an issue since the natural gas generators dump polluted water on the ground. This will result in polluted oxygen at times, but it also doesn't allow the gases going through the flooring here. So what I'm going to do is also remove the bottom floor here with mesh tiles, but not all of them. I want to keep some of them in place. For instance, the 2 center tiles should be airflow tiles or just normal tiles. And then I'm going to have 2 mesh tiles. These 2 would be airflow tiles again, so we can have some polluted water on here. And then these would be mesh tiles again, right? Like these 3 would be mesh tiles as well. Yeah, and like that, the gases will have no issues actually going through. Yeah, actually, I think this is gonna work fabulously. We can even hook up all the generators easily. We now even have the space for the smart battery, so maybe we already hook up the automation as well. That might be a good idea. Looks like Ellie is now going for a fabulous building spree here. Oh man, I really want to get this going. And then I also need to figure out a good design to tame this tungsten volcano. I mean, this is going to be insane. Tungsten coming out at 3,700 degrees. All power cables are in place, a couple more ladders, gas pumps and generators. Then I will also have to clean some things up. At the moment we are not producing nearly enough energy to do anything with these rapid generators. What we need to do is start pumping out the gases and deciding where they actually need to go. For instance, we don't want the polluted oxygen here. And from what I can tell, the natural gas is gonna settle below the polluted oxygen right now. You know what? I just noticed we're gonna run into issues with the hydrogen. This is mainly gonna accumulate here on the top unless we have quite a bit of it. Honestly, I might go ahead and replace this side here with mechanized airlocks as well, and then just open everything up. I mean, that does make sense, so the gases can come from anywhere. Yeah, let's actually worry about that once we get to it. There we go, we're opening up the pool so I can store more liquids. And we're also finally finishing the conveyor rails. Let's send over some berry sludge. I'm actually really curious. No, wait. We first have to finish what we got going on here at the bottom. I think I'm gonna give myself access from the side here so we can already accumulate a little bit. We're gonna add a liquid pump right here, possibly together with a hydro sensor. Yeah, that one can just be on the other side connected with a automation wire. How do we power this up? Possibly going in from this side. Yeah, that should be enough. The hydro sensor I'm gonna set to about 100 kilograms or so. Let's say if we have 100 kilograms of resin, then we want to start pumping this up. And all we really need to do is bring this over to the interplanetary launcher, so it's not far at all. And I think I might just hijack this pipe. Yeah, look at that. We sucked up all the liquids, so we don't even need that anymore. We can go in here, maybe remove these pipes, remove everything here at the bottom as well. And then instead we're just gonna go straight over into the interplanetary launcher. Alrighty, quite a few cycles later and we are back. The hydrogen vent actually started to output. You can see I removed the bottom part right here. I also added another transit tube access point, so I have easy access to this room in order to build some stuff. Right now I'm building some mesh tiles in order to be able to sweep up the water layer that is on the top, that is preventing the polluted water from off-gassing and being converted into oxygen. Now everything became a little bit more dangerous because I had to open them up and we still need to take care of the extra gases. Now I figured we could steer the gas pumps by just adding a couple of sensors. The hydrogen one is going to be the simplest because we just need one gas element sensor that we can place, for instance, right here. And then what I want to see is a filter gate so we don't get false positives. We need to detect hydrogen for a certain amount of time before we send the green signal. So that goes here and there. That will be all the automation. As for the natural gas pump, it's going to be slightly more difficult. I think what we should do is detect the natural gas on the top and at the bottom of the pump. And if both of these conditions are true, then we can start pumping. So that means some more gas element sensors. One is going to go here, another one to the bottom. And we want to do the same thing. We first want to filter the signal. So we filter it over and across like so, and then we want to lead it into an AND gate like this. Add our cables, sack, and boom. And then of course the output of the AND gate will be going to the pump. And now I can directly pump into the generators if I need to. And all we need to make sure is that, for instance, we have another pump located between these two layers. Let's say we have a pump right there. And this pump is going to be responsible to expel certain gases. I think we can do that right here. Let's just bring this over and up using a high gas pressure vent to get rid of unwanted gases. We then add a pipe element sensor here and then maybe another one there together with two more high gas pressure vents. The first one will be detecting the hydrogen and the second one will be detecting the natural gas, both of which we want to release back into the chamber here. And then of course we also need to make sure that we pick up the right gases here. Let's say we detect some polluted oxygen, that's when we want to activate it. Or maybe there's going to be some chlorine, I don't really know yet. We can set this up however we like, but it needs to be connected to this pump in order for it to know when to activate. Now Ellie is a tiny bit mad at the moment, stressed out, but it is getting better right now. She was under a lot of stress recently with radiation, popped eardrums, soggy feet, and you know, just whimsy little details she's complaining about. But I think we're good again, right? Yeah, 97 rats. We eat that for breakfast. Wait a second, I did not mean to build these out of steel. Of course we have iron for this, that is much better. Also, should not forget about the power. Let me see, this might be closer. No, it doesn't matter. Let's set up the sensors right away. This one was hydrogen and another one for natural gas. So they will be released back and everything else is going to be expelled. Nice, some sensors in place. What was this one? Polluted oxygen, right? Actually, that goes under breathable. And then the other one was, for instance, chlorine, though I doubt we'll get that since it's going to be at the bottom. Also, there will be some carbon dioxide. We'll just have to see. For now, I'm just going to leave the sensor empty. On the other hand, that sensor here is going to be clear. This is for hydrogen. And I guess the filter gates, let's leave them at around 10 seconds or so. That's the amount of time we want to detect the gases for before we actually start pumping. And then same thing here. This is natural gas for both of the sensors. And we want 10 seconds here with the gates. Now we're only missing the power wire, and then we could already get started with the natural gas generators. This is actually great. Let's go ahead, connect these two pipes here, and then we're gonna release the CO2 here at the bottom. And I think if I remove this plastic tile, I might be able to build these two pipes. But let me just go ahead and finish everything here. Then we can probably already get our generators going. I had to remove a little bit more, but we're good now. Let's close this off again. Oh, hold on. The pipe actually started to pump, and we should be seeing everything exiting except for the polluted oxygen, which is just going to disappear into space. So that is good. Now the natural gas and the hydrogen will have a better opportunity to distribute, especially the hydrogen I would like to see going through there. Okay, we are getting the natural gas generators going now as well. Right now we're really producing most of the power using the solar panels. Of course, that is something we could change by just hooking this up, but right now I don't really have anything to send with the interplanetary launcher. So I think it's actually time to send over some berry sludge. Can I store that in here? That would be great. Edible? Yes. Berry sludge. I want to send that over. Meep is currently bringing the payload. We still have 13 million calories left. So without any further ado, let's reset the amount here and just get some sent over, please. Precious berry sludge. We just sent 400 kilograms over. And then of course this should arrive shortly. I also forgot I need a liquid here. Do I have something to pick up? Just polluted water really. What do I have here? Some supercoolant. Yes, and I can sweep it up. That means I can also bring it over here. Supercoolant. And actually before I do that, I need some drywall here and there. I also delivered some iron ore, but let's just observe what happens here with the tree. Oh yes, it starts eating. And of course, I only save every 10 cycles, but it has to save in the most important precious moments. It is an emotional roller coaster. But yeah, we can see the tree eating up the berry sludge. Right now we still have 400,000 kilocalories, even more. Actually, it's going up to 1 million now. And from the looks of it, it is going down pretty quickly, but we are also gaining a lot of resin from it. So now actually let me check the temperatures. If we bring this through here, it might actually get too cold. Yeah, honestly, I think we should insulate these pipes so it's all safe and sound until it reaches the interplanetary launcher. All my drywall is in place, some more radiation vomiting. It's basically business as usual. Now we already accumulated 75 kilograms per tile and we still have over 1 million kilocalories. So it's actually quite easy to gain a substantial amount of resin. Whoa, I didn't even realize I reached 100% stress with Ellie, but thankfully she is just doing some damage here. Oh my gosh. Gotta love it, especially because it's called tantrum damage. Oh my gosh, the lashing out doesn't stop. Jeez, Ellie, come on. Yeah, she's actually done lashing out. That brought her stress down to 62%. You know, I get it. Sometimes we just have to do these things. Let's now also speed up the mopping of this supercoolant. And before I forget, I would like to see another tile here. So the supercoolant doesn't run over this side, but it will run over this side. And hopefully this way we'll get a adequate cooling. And here we go. That's one thing I love about this game. You can just mop up liquids on top of each other. Ah, I get it. Now I also understand why I have popped eardrums. Of course, I forgot to actually expel the carbon dioxide. Well, that is a problem easy to fix, just like that. Wonderful. The distribution of the gases slowly takes shape. I think we're ready to get this going. Actually, as a matter of fact, the resin already filled up the interplanetary launcher. So I would think we are first getting these two rappel generators going. Now, how far do they have to travel? It is definitely more than 10 tiles. Let's put this to 52 rappels. Same thing up there. And we're also going to do that with the lower section. And then of course it's time to disable this switch. That's what I installed to be able to disable the rappel generators. And now they're both collecting between 170 and 185 rats per cycle. So they're going to shoot between 3 and 4 times. That now also means we're going to be needing substantially more natural gas as well as hydrogen. But the hydrogen first has to accumulate here. And there are... What did I do? Oh no, I totally forgot to take apart the solar panel here. That is totally my bad. There we go. That should be enough. Right. Yeah. Okay. Now the resin actually can be filled in. and the rat bolts will hopefully also be stored. There's now also my supercoolant, and yes indeed, we were able to fill everything up. Let's just also sweep up the materials here and we should be done. Come on, come on, come on, give me something good. There is the shot. Oh, that was not quite enough. There is another shot and we are sending the resin back home. I love it. Great, with that out of the way, the only thing we need to take care of is the collection of the items as well as the tungsten volcano, and then at the bottom we have some chlorine and also carbon dioxide that we eventually need to collect. But I'm gonna wrap up today's episode by adding a conveyor loader here, and we're just gonna be bringing this straight up and over, and we might even be adding a bunch of conveyor loaders, one more here on the top and then potentially one more here at the bottom in order to ship everything conveniently. But yeah, with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.